Oops, why are you facing me?
The Sonic Smasher. Now just one.
You wiping things off with the rag?
Yeah.
So this is the 86 Suburban. We've primed this whole thing, as you guys can see. We let it sit for a couple of days.
Video or live?
I'm on the live, but I'm talking. Dad's wiping it down. As you can see, whole thing's dusty. Whole thing's being wiped off. The whole thing was primed. Now the next step is base. Okay, we're live on Master Painter as well. The filter guy says, do you read your comments? Yes, I do.
No, I don't.
Well, technically you don't, I do. I read all of the comments out loud. And we're also on, well, I read all of them off of YouTube. But we also are on TikTok, and so TikTok has a lot more people in the live, so I usually read comments on there. The filter guy says, hello. Mitch says, what tape do you use?
3M.
Yeah, this is 3M yellow tape. We use 3/4 inch, and then we also use 1.5 inch. Those are actually the only two that we use. We have fine line tape, but I don't think we've ever used it in the 14 years. So it's the same old piece of tape we bought a long time ago. Filter guy says, cool. Didn't we buy new tack rags?
Yeah.
Okay. It's warm outside. It's dew time. That's from Texan.
Just about.
Tyler says those are cool old trucks. They are. The inside of this one, the doors are all taped up or I'd show you, but the customer has kept the inside of this one immaculate. And I mean that. It's all red interior. It's really pretty. Jimmy says, how far are you guys out to paint one? We're about to paint this one right now.
4 months.
But yeah, it takes about 4 months from drop off to pick up. I think this is an 86 Suburban, right?
No, I think it's an 89, but who knows? See the blue monster behind you?
Yes.
That's the one we'll be doing later this week.
A lot to do to that one.
No, not a whole lot. We're almost done with it.
What do y'all use for wax and grease remover? Ooh, almost fell straight on my face. No, we don't use wax and grease remover. You can if you want to, but Dad feels that it's just an extra thing that could go wrong, so why do it? Plus, if you sanded everything, you shouldn't have any wax or grease still on your vehicle. And this one we had to prime all the way. Darren says, will you have it sprayed today? Yeah, we're about to spray this one right now. Let's see. The filter guy says, should I subscribe?
No. Absolutely not. If you have to ask, no. Not only no, but fuck no. I'll charge you.
He means on YouTube. You could subscribe or follow us, however it works on YouTube. We're still fairly new to the YouTube game, so forgive us. Painter says, what's up, JP?
Hey.
So, see that pretty pink? It's like a pastel pink. Since this whole thing is a dull gray, primer gray to be exact, we're going to be spraying the whole truck that color. And since this one's two-tone, which means at this body line right here, Dad's going to be spraying black down because it's going to be a darker red that goes over it. But this is going to be a bright red on the top. Painter says, I started a YouTube, already have more views on my 2 videos. Yeah, YouTube is hit or miss. We've had one since 2016, but I didn't post on it very often. It's just been lately that we've been posting on it. This is the color. Let me see if I can turn the light on. It's a dull pink. And then what we're going to do after that is this bright red goes down on top of it.
I told the owner of this truck, if he didn't contact me, I was going to paint it pink.
So you're just going to paint it pink? Let's see. Mitch says, what pressure is your gun for primer, base, and clear?
Nope, I don't go into that. Everything's different.
Yeah, it varies because of air pressure and your air compressor and the humidity and things like that. Let's see. That's going to look good. BE says, I have questions, JP. What's the best way to remove deep dents from a 50s Chevy truck fender?
Probably heating it up.
Because it's real
Heating
metal?
It up and then pulling it, yeah.
Oh, is that the pink on there already? B.E. Brown says, thank you. I'll try that. So, the air compressor that's behind Dad's going to cut on. It's going to be loud. And we're currently in Runaway Bay, Texas. Right now, it's taking about 3 to 4 months to do from drop off to pick up. Painter says, man, y'all got some storms last night, didn't you? Thankfully, not last night.
The night before, yeah. Before Easter.
Yeah.
Had tornadoes and everything else. Oh, I got an itchy hand.
Yeah, Saturday night. Those were the bad storms. There were a couple tornadoes that popped down probably 30 minutes from us.
Jack broke.
Yeah. What? You can use that without turning your gun completely upside down? John says, you missed the comment earlier, but we got lucky. No damage, but 1 touchdown about 3 miles from us. Oh, dang, that's bad.
Yeah, we had one up in Jacksboro earlier that day. Thought we're heading down this way.
That was at like 7 in the afternoon. I don't know how far it was from us, though, miles-wise.
I think it's fairly close.
Carlos says, you're a good painter, my friend.
Thank you, Carlos.
Do y'all do any airbrushing?
No.
Let's see. Niner says, you got to start from top to bottom.
No.
John says, this is Candyman, by the way. He's on our YouTube. Candyman, how interesting. Thought you would never find us on YouTube.
Damn it, we gotta change our name again. Yeah, I should have eaten lunch.
At least a hot dog. So Big Daddy, as you can see, Pops is painting your truck the color that he's gonna leave it, which is a bright pink, and we're gonna clear it
I told
and
you to
then
contact me.
re-clear it again. No, I'm just playing. Let's see. Kay says JP makes it look easy.
It is. It's not hard.
Greg says looking good.
Okay.
Alex says hello from Sweden.
Hello, Sweden.
T Tad. Sorry, Tad. How can I start this on my own? Well, you
have a skill set.
yeah, you got to know how to do what you're doing first. Let's see. Candyman says my comments keep getting filtered on TikTok for some reason, so I came here.
Okay.
Definitely come over here. We'll
I
read
don't
them.
know why, man. It shouldn't.
R94 says I'm a professional drifter racer. How are you?
I'm okay.
Let's see. Gary Glenn from Michigan is the original Candyman.
No.
Candyman is John Guthrie.
Yep.
Is that a Ram Charger or K5?
No, this is a Corvette. Can you say Corvette?
I thought it identified as a Honda Civic. Let's see. Can you paint my house?
No, I can paint your mom like I always do.
How much time between coats?
Oh, I don't know. It's pretty warm today. Probably none.
Russell says as long as you know what you're doing, you can do it however you want.
Yep.
Have you ever painted a movie car?
Yeah, I painted several of them.
Dad painted the Christine cars.
I painted 4 or 5 of Christmas.
Then watched him get blown up, right? Or exploded or whatever he did.
Yeah.
Let's see, where are you guys based out of? We're in Runaway Bay, Texas. Yes, that is a big truck. Guys, it's a semi. What's up from Austin, Texas? The video is tweaking out. John says, it's a road name. I have hypoglycemia and always have candy on me, hence the name. I think it's a good name. Pops had this, not my dad, but my grandfather, he had the same problem. He always had a bag of M&M, what is it? The peanut M&Ms in his drawer. It's obviously a mini jet. Come on, people. Good Time says, hello, I like the color. It is a good color, but this is not the color it's going to be. It's going to be a bright red, except for this body line. That's going to be a dark red, but below the body line, also bright red. No, we haven't painted General Lee or Smokey and the Bandit. But I'll tell you what we did paint. We did paint the JP Jeep Jurassic Park trucks. There's like a club that goes across America, and so we painted a couple of those. Painting fenders on an F-250 now, won't fit in the shop, so I got the back half hanging out, LOL. Yeah, that's how it goes. Truthfully, what you should do is get you one of those Harbor Freight tents and then just set it up on the back half. Unless it's a dually, and then in which case it won't fit.
Ask John when he wants to compete in.
Yeah, Big Daddy is not on here yet.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, I thought he was.
No. Pink or red, hard to tell. This is very clearly pink. This is like a muted pastel pink color. But this is just a base. This is just like an undercoat, as some people will say. Because as you can see, the whole thing is in primer. So you want to use less of the bright red, the main color. Yeah, I want to make sure there's no bleed through. So, put a pink underneath of it. Anthony says, I have family out there in Texas. If I'm ever out there, I need my car painted.
Sure, you got 4 months.
Let's see. Candyman says, by the way, they haven't even cleared the land yet. You talking about where they're putting up the Chinese place? Because if so, that's not cool. Mitch says, what happened to the air booth?
It's still outside. Why?
The inflatable one, it's outside. This big beast, even though it's a very long truck, fits inside here. So we paint in here because wind determines whether or not you can paint in the inflatable booth. But that other big one that sits outside will be painted in the inflatable one.
Yeah. in the next few days.
That has to be full of dirt. Yes, because you can see the dirt that is just absolutely full of.
The only dirt in the state.
Where are you from? Well, we're in Runaway Bay, Texas. Dad's from Virginia. Billy says, not a bad idea. It's my personal truck, so if I get a bug, oh well.
How? The what?
Billy says, not a bad idea. It's my personal truck, so if I get a bug, oh well. Truthfully, you very rarely get bugs.
You get a bug, you're doing something wrong.
Like I said, it's very rare. Fright says, wet the floor. It keeps dust from going everywhere.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, everybody's got their own ways of worrying about dust. But the truth is, dust happens. There's nothing you can do to get rid of it. So the best thing that you can do is to just accept that it's there and then wet sand and buff it out. Plus, this is a wood floor. I wouldn't suggest constantly wetting a wood floor. Square body bourbon. Yes, yes it is. James C. says, can I paint outside? I don't know. If you paint outside, you're definitely going to get bugs. But if you do it in some kind of enclosure, you're less likely to. But we bought an inflatable booth off of Temu Emu. I think it was like $500, and it's gone. We've already painted like 3 or 4 vehicles in it. The heavy red flake Cobra that we painted inside of it. Had no problems. The only thing it didn't come with was the thing to blow it up. But you can buy one of those from like Harbor Freight for a couple $100. Bryson says you got to do what you got to do. Colton says, I'm curious to see the end results.
They're all over TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. I got all my work posted. I don't hide anything. You kids act like I hide shit.
How much was the Cobra paint job?
700?
Yeah, the heavy red flake. It was sprayed black first, and then heavy red flake was sprayed over it.
I got people who call me a liar on that one all the time.
Seriously?
I thought a $700 paint job. Materials is more than that. Just keep working for somebody else, because you're too stupid to be out on your own.
Sir says, are y'all on YouTube? Indeed we are. And the YouTube camera, by the way, is a lot better than the TikTok camera. What gun are you using for base and clear?
Oh, no.
6660.
660.
It's a really good gun.
It's a great gun.
Puts more material on the car than requires a lot of air. It does not require a lot of air pressure, which is different from a lot of guns. Plus, it's not thousands of dollars.
Better than soda pieces of shit.
It's a luxury gun.
Yeah, it's a $359 gun on Amazon.
John Green says, what brand base and clear?
The base is going to be minimalist paint line. The clear is going to be Autobahn this time, because we bought a shitload of Autobahn clear earlier in the year. But after we run out of Autobahn, it'll be Sherwin-Williams 724.
Yeah, it will.
That's the problem whenever you buy $10,000 worth of Autobahn clear. Gotta use it, not wasting it.
This is like a violet color almost. I mean, I know it's pink, but it has like undertones of like violet.
Yeah, it's pretty violent.
Are you just leaving dents in the roof?
No, I'm using your mama's face to clean it. Are there dents in the roof?
Easter powder pink. I like that name.
Easter bunny pink.
It is actually an Easter bunny color because look at it. That's great. Would you paint match parts if they were brought to you?
Nope.
611 Salim says, LMAO, I love the smell of paint.
You do? Does it have a smell? I don't smell.
Chase says, what size air compressor you use?
60.
Yeah, it's a 60 single stage. We're actually going to buy a 2-stage coming up pretty soon.
Same brand.
DeWalt, yeah, same brand, DeWalt. Big yellow guy. Wish I was near you. I need my 67 Nova painted. That would be the air compressor, the big yellow guy. It's taking about 4 months right now from start to finish. What? You can paint the opposite direction in the vehicle?
What?
You can paint the opposite direction of the vehicle? You're welcome. Paint with the grain of the metal, I like that. I think this is an 86. No, this one wasn't $700. I don't remember what this one was. It's like $1,800 to $2,100. Plus we're re-clearing this one after it's been cleared again. And the whole thing is pink. This whole big guy is pink. So, as it was covered in primer the last time you saw it, now the whole thing is pink. So that he can lay the red, the bright red and the dark red over top of it. There's a lot of work that's done on this. This is like an Easter pink. It's very pastel. Let's see. Busted Radical, he says, do you mind sharing location? Are you taking in work?
Yes.
We're in Runaway Bay.
Takes 4 months to do.
Runaway Bay, Texas. Let's see. Mr. 420. Oh, hell nah. Good Time says it's a lot of work.
It is. 420. You're an idiot.
4 months?
Yeah. Drop off the pickup.
What about all the overspray?
Where? On your mama? I mean, I tried not to get any on her, but, you know.
I don't think people quite understand what overspray is anymore.
They don't.
They've been using it wrong.
Stupid applicator kids that don't paint.
Overspray is what happens whenever something like this has overspray on it because the paint goes on that. That's overspray. Okay, but when you paint a whole vehicle, there's no overspray that gets on the paint when you're using paint. That's absolutely asinine. Mitch says, are you painting pink because it helps with the final color selection or because you had extra pink and not enough of the red?
It was gray, and so it's just an easy way to help make sure there's no bleed through whenever you're spraying a bright red.
Bleed through means if you just sprayed it that bright red
over just a paint over gray, you could possibly run the risk of seeing gray, and so it uses less material this way.
Less of the red base, which is usually more expensive than pink, because pink is just white and red.
I've got pink.
Let's see. No moisture filters too.
Only on your mother, because she's a nasty bitch.
I mean, that's what the filters are.
On YouTube, or we're on TikTok.
TikTok, yeah. Let's see. Good Time says, true talent, 100% respect.
Thank you.
Busted says it helps with color transition. I think I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
I call it bleed through, but you kids have different names for it.
Let's see. TikTok is acting weird. It's too glitchy. It's a bug going around on TikTok.
Nah.
Probably.
It's just TikTok not wanting to be able to pay somebody because they're scumbags.
Zach says, I know what overspray is. I work in an auto body shop. Well, Zach,
if you do, then you shouldn't have asked such a stupid fucking question, you dumbass.
I was going to say, Zach, if you're the one that made that comment, then no, you don't actually know what it is. Let's see. How do you make base coat? Isn't that the secret? Painter says, I ran that color sealer under reds. Yeah. It's very popular. Or even if you take your primer, like we can do this with lacquer primer, you just add a little bit of red into the lacquer primer and it tints it this color, honestly.
You could do it with 2K primer too.
Yeah. Keaton says you need the throwaway cups from Harbor Freight, then you don't have to clean your cup every time.
No, because those are too expensive and I'd rather clean my cup.
I know, right? Lacquer thinner is like $50 for 5 gallons, and 5 gallons lasts us
35.
5 gallons lasts us 3 months from cleaning the cups. Okay, now those PPE cups, you can go through like 5 of them just in your first time, and it's like $10 for 10 cups, right?
So stupid.
Oh, they got rid of us on Master Painter.
Why?
Harassment and bullying for some reason?
No.
That one probably won't stand.
That's bullshit.
It says your access will be restored back to the live and literally the next day.
No.
But we're still on YouTube. That's the nice thing about YouTube. They're not going to flag us. They're not removing us.
Fucking cocksucking faggots. Let's report him because he hurt my feelings. I'm a pussy.
See, Candyman, this is why it pays off to be on YouTube. All right, so which color are you mixing right now?
The dark red. I'm going to spray dark red and then go to lunch while it dries so we can tape it up.
Okay.
God, I hate TikTok and the fucking pussies that are on it. What kind of goddamn bitch? It hurt my feelings because I said something stupid and got called out for it.
So wait, you're spraying the dark red that goes in the two-tone in the middle now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you do. You spray the smallest one first.
Let me come around. Spray the smallest second tone first?
Right.
Okay.
Where do we break this off at?
This is the body line, and then it had its natural divide like right here, so I guess you just make your own. Oh, that's a pretty red. Honestly, it kind of looks like a ruby red. Yes, don't forget under those.
No.
So this is how JP Auto Paint Works does a two-tone. You guys are seeing it from the part where we paint it, and then you'll see everything all the way through. A lot of this job is literally just waiting for paint to dry sometimes.
Oh, this gun is awesome.
Let's see. Sir says people get butt hurt so easy.
They do.
Sadly, they do.
Fucking pathetic.
Let's see. Nobody special says wham bam, money in hand.
Yep.
Dexter says, yo, old Chevy.
I am not. I'm not old.
You're old Chevy.
Oh yeah, that's almost a day. Oh.
It is. That's the exact same color that was already on there. Now, when you're spraying two-tone, should you spray a little bit above where the body line is?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Where are you cutting the body line off in the back?
I'm following the body line that they've got right across here.
Right up at the top, that's what I mean.
Right.
This covers pretty well with one coat. Do you think you have to go back over it with two?
We'll have to check it with a light, but maybe not. Looks okay.
How come you don't ever use single stage? Believe it or not,
It's cheaper.
it's cheaper to use base clear. It's also more forgiving to use base clear. Let me say that.
I haven't shot single stage in years. Don't need to. I don't like it.
When was the last time you shot single stage?
Probably the guy's golf cart back in Virginia. Like
Oh, yeah.
15 years, 20 years, 15 years ago.
Let's see. Busted says, I can appreciate the getting it done with all the frill, smoke, and mirror BS.
Well, I mean, there is nothing fancy to this. I mean,
No, there isn't. A lot of people try to make this more complicated than it needs to be.
right.
This is not a complicated, this is not a complicated thing. The auto body painting is not complicated. It's just
Guys
time
wanna make it-
consuming.
Guys want to make it complicated so they seem smarter than they are.
Yeah.
People like dumbasses from Refinished Media who use terminology he's never used before. That fuck ain't never painted anything in his life. But he used terminology.
What do you say your overlap percentages are?
Whatever they are. I don't care about overlap percentage.
I didn't even know that was a term until somebody said it to me. Not today, but like a while ago. That's another term that they've come up with. What's the favorite car that you painted?
Favorite car? I don't know. I kind of like doing the Jurassic Park Jeeps. Those are kind of fun for people.
I think the prettiest one we've ever done was definitely Crew Mustangs. The
Yeah.
Cobra with the heavy red flakes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's all the prep work. That's the hard part. Yes, that's very true. Painting takes you like an hour, maybe two. The prep work can take you days, weeks, and months. Looks good. See what it looks like? Can't see any of the metallic yet until we put clear on it, but I think it's going to be pretty good coverage. Mitch said, so making base look wet does not help the final product, right?
No, it does not.
Not unless you're using a single stage. Might have to go back over it one time. Let's see. Nico says, clean work. Keep it up, old timer.
Fuck you. Old timer.
You know it's old timer because of the beard. Whenever you remove the beard, nobody recognizes you. Nobody knows who you are. So we're going to end the live in a few minutes after he's done painting it. What we're going to do is when we come back, probably give it 10-15 minutes for this base to dry. And when we come back, that's whenever we will spray, that's whenever we'll put tape on this. So the regular 3M tape that we use will go right on this base. That should hopefully be dry by then. Let's see. R94 says, my C4 Corvette is Vanta Black. Blackest paint in the world.
Your C4 is Vanta. Whole car?
I've never thought that that was real. I always felt like it's just something they do with the camera to make it look blacker.
No, it's real.
I've never seen it in person, so
No.
I don't really have good definition of what it looks like.
I doubt seriously it is. Because I don't think he's got the money. That's probably a $300,000-$400,000 paint job to put that in Vanta.
Busted Radical Garage says, I dropped you a sub. Cool channel. Take care.
Thank you. Drop me a what?
Sub, it means subscription.
Why?
We're not hip on the YouTube lingo. Yeah, we're gonna start going more live on YouTube than we have in the past. This red actually looks like it gets darker the longer it dries. Did you just hit it?
No, I did not.
This is a really pretty color. That red, it covers over the pink pretty well. If it had still been gray, there'd probably be a lot more material we'd have to use. Busted Radical says, LOL, it's all good. Nobody Special says, what's your favorite paint that's now discontinued?
I don't have any.
That's the interesting thing. There's really no such thing as discontinued paint unless you're talking about like paint that used to have lead in it.
Lacquer's the only...
But they've brought lacquer back just in acrylic form without the lead in it. And truthfully, the candy paints, what we've been talking about, aren't exactly the same, because when candy paint was originally created, it was created with lacquer paint. That was before pearls, which if you've ever looked at a car and you can see, you know, it's dark in one spot and then really light in a different, that's a pearl that's in it. And so pearls weren't invented then. And so the guy who created candy was trying to invent pearl before pearl existed. So candies nowadays are completely different from what they used to be in lacquer too. Let's see, R94 says it's $700 for a 200 milliliter bottle of the pigment. How much is 200 milliliters?
$700. Since when? Well, it's been a while since I checked. Last time I checked, it was, for a pint, was $8,000 a pint.
Let's see.
That was like 2-3 years ago.
Nobody Special says Lucite, Imran, Synthol, Centauri.
None of those mean anything to me. Centauri was just single stage. It's all single stage.
Who was it made by?
DuPont.
Ah, okay. And they don't do it anymore?
No. I came into the market and shot Centauri and lucite for all of maybe 6 months. And then base clear hit the market before it came out into the industry. So I mean,
Wasn't something you had sprayed for years upon years.
right.
And I guess the single stage you used to spray for Mako was a lot different than.
Right, it was Sherwin-Williams, single stage, synthetic normal.
Nobody Special says, "What's the worst paint ever besides Tamco?"
Revolting, and I mean that, revolting paint, because you can only do that in perfection.
Perfect
Otherwise-
environments.
70 degrees. If it can't only go in, if it can only be sprayed in 70-degree weather, I'd hate to see it on a 120-degree day, or
Yeah, can't be good.
what kind of shit are you using?
Honestly, I mean, shop line's a crappy clear, but the base itself isn't terrible. Omni Silvers suck. Let me say that. Omni Silvers suck. They always move. No matter that you laid it down, it looks
Not
perfect.
Even that. PVC's
yeah, it doesn't matter what.
shitty silver.
PPG silvers. Sorry, I said Omni, but I meant PPG silvers. Doesn't matter what it is, they suck. Whether it's a dark charcoal or it's a bright silver, they suck.
They move, and there's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter how long you let it dry.
Right. So use, and when it comes to the DuPont or Axalta side of things, black is not black.
Right.
It's brown. I don't even know how they do that, but
They've
it's
never fixed
brown.
it. Never even tried to fix it.
Honestly, I'd say probably the best line would probably be Sherwin-Williams, their Dimension line. Now their middle line, what's that middle one? ATX or something?
No, the Ultra
No, Ultra's their top line. I think it was
No.
ATX was what was in the middle.
Sunfire is their Ultra, is their premier bullshit.
I don't think so. Whatever it is. But as long as you stick with Dimension, that's a workhorse. The silver's never moved. The black is truly black. Your pearls are great. It's got very vibrant colors to it. So, yeah, Dimension versus Matrix is definitely going to be Dimension.
Yeah.
Let's see. Orange Adventure says, can you still do a good job spraying at home with a cheap gun?
This is a $359 gun. I've used $70 guns and $15 guns at a Harbor Freight.
In
For
fact,
years.
the Cobra that you'll see on this YouTube channel, most of these cars, by the way, were painted with Harbor Freight guns.
Right.
But the Cobra, for a fact, was painted with a $15 paint gun.
Right.
I want to throw that out there. It doesn't matter what kind of gun you use. It matters about
It's
the
not
skill
the
level
tool,
of the
it's
person.
The tool using the tool.
Exactly.
I got mechanics that can't use a fucking crescent wrench, but I know chop shop guys that can fucking use a crescent wrench and strip a car in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
Go ask Mikey from New Edge.
There it is.
What, you didn't think I was gonna let him off, did you?
No. So you're cleaning out your gun now, and so now what? We just wait for the base to dry?
Yeah, now I go to lunch, let all that set up so we can tape the second. We can tape it, and then we can do the second color on it.
So we'll come.
Clear.
I'm going to end this live in a minute, but whenever we come back, what we'll be doing is spreading yellow 3M tape here at this body line down to wherever we cut it off at, putting paper over this. Then he'll be spraying this top portion and the very lower portion, that bright red. So just have to literally wait for paint to dry.
I mean, it's dry enough to do now. I'm just hungry.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in.